Hello and welcome back to the Squared Circle with myself, Mr. David Alorca.
And myself, Joe Ojala.
Today, we are back with This Week in Boxing, giving you the hottest news fresh off the boxing press. Now, HE, His Excellency, Mr. Turki Alalshikh, has basically let us know that something's going down on February 22nd. And not only is it going down, Eddie is saying this is the biggest card that he's ever promoted.
I think it's the 5v5. And I think AJ Dubois headlining. And I can't wait to tell man I told you so. Because in the first few episodes, man was saying, oh, what you talking about? Shut up, man. You owe me an apology soon. It's pending. Yeah?
You're going to get cooked.
Yeah?
Man,
a bit, this guy's so arrogant. I don't care. You owe me an apology soon. I'm going to laugh.
If that don't happen, you're going to get cooked. Because I hear you on it being AJ Dubois and the 5v5. The only two things that's making me question whether that's the case is in that video, it was Eddie and Turkey.
Yeah.
And I didn't see
Frank.
I didn't see Uncle Frank in that video. So I'm like, hold on, what's going on over here? That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Yes, what I'm saying. The second thing is, bruv, I don't know, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be AJ Dubois.
Really?
I'm feeling
Who's going to headline that?
that it's gonna be AJ Wilder.
Nah, no way.
I'm feeling
Nah.
I'm feeling like it could be. Listen, look, I hear you on Dubois, and I've been the person that has said this many times. AJ's, you know what I mean, he's got to go straight back in. It's another opportunity to win 3 times, so on and so forth, and that. But at the same time, like I said, I know AJ, right? The legacy is important to him to a certain degree, or to a great degree. Being 3-time heavyweight world champion, amazing. But at the same time, he also loves this game. He loves fighting. And I think part of him feels like if he don't fight Deontay Wilder and he ends his career without fighting Deontay Wilder, he's not going to be happy with himself. So I've got a feeling that fight is the fight that's coming, bro. I got a feeling. I don't know. I just have that feeling inside of myself that it's got to be AJ Wilder.
I wouldn't mind it. That would be sick though, because I've always wanted to say AJ Wilder. You know, before Fury Usyk, it was always meant to be AJ Wilder. That fight would have been way bigger than
It was
Fury
supposed to
Usyk.
be AJ Wilder for the undisputed. That's what it was. That's what it was
Back in,
supposed to be.
2019
Yeah.
days, like, it would have been perfect.
Trust
but
me.
I still think it's going to be AJ Dubois, man. I think I just have that feeling. You know, it makes so much sense to put on a 5v5 as well. I'm just interested to see what the undercard's saying, because if this is the best best card we've ever seen, the undercard must be proper. But I can't think of fights that can be done. Let us know in the comments if there's any fights. If anyone can think of a 5v5, put it in there, man. Flex, show your boxing brain. See if you can be a matchmaker, and then eventually someone might hire you as matchmakers, innit? Because I can't think of any fights.
You know what we'll do next week's video? We're gonna put together a 5v5 of our own, and then we'll run that as well. Still, but genuinely for me, I think right now that fight with Wilder is probably at the biggest it could be for now, because Wilder's coming off obviously a double loss. AJ's coming off a loss.
Yeah.
It's not this. It doesn't feel like it's a foregone conclusion, and because of that, there's jeopardy in the fight for both people. If Wilder beats AJ, it's going to be like, well, that's AJ. You know, people going to say AJ's done.
Yeah.
If AJ beats Wilder in devastating fashion, like, you know what I mean, knocks him out the ring. Yeah. Then, you know what I'm saying?
The hype's there again.
The hype train's back. You understand what I'm saying? And that lines up something nice in the summer for Anthony Joshua, because obviously there's been news broken this week by Bob Arum. Bob Arum's been talking quite a lot this week, actually. He spoke about the fact that he didn't want his fighter fighting, he didn't want Big Baby fighting Bacoli. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? That cash the cash call that came in from
Oh,
Turkey.
Jared Anderson. My fault.
Not Miller.
Jarrell Miller.
Big
I was about to
baby
say,
Anderson, Jarrell Anderson,
Okay,
man.
okay, yeah. Sorry, bro. They're both big babies, fam. They should fight each other, man, and win the
battle
name,
of
win the title. Win the title.
Hey, the
innit?
name is on the line.
Yeah.
I'll be a sick.
Miller's on that though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Miller will be on that.
On what?
On doing that. I remember the
thought
LA
you-
press conference.
I thought you were saying Miller's on. I thought you were saying Miller's on the 5v5 thing. I thought you was going.
Nah,
I thought you was going somewhere.
nah,
He's
nah,
not.
nah,
But
nah,
he's not on that one. We'll talk about what Miller's coming up with Miller later.
Yeah,
But obviously Bob's been speaking. Bob said that obviously he didn't want that fight. That end of the day, Jarrell wasn't ready, and
They did it for the
but the reality is, you know what I mean? Like I said, Turkey loves Jarrell Anderson anyway, so I'm sure we're going to see much more of him. But what else Bob Arum said is that he has word that right now it's not looking like we're going to see any more foreign Riyadh season events, that Riyadh season is staying in Riyadh, and Riyadh season is staying within Riyadh season, because Riyadh season isn't a year-long thing. For those that don't know, Riyadh season starts in October
into March,
and
right?
and ends in March. I think it's supposed to end in end of February or early March or first week of March. But I think right now the powers that be and the powers that be are actually above HE. It's with MBS.
Yeah.
The powers that be is with Mohammed bin Salman, and I think he is like, nah, Riyadh season has got to stay in Riyadh. We're doing all this. We're doing all this stuff, and it's all great and good, but we don't want to push the money outside. We want to bring the money inside, and we want to bring people to Riyadh, showcase our culture from that perspective.
Yeah, but I thought that was the purpose of why they were going to LA or why they were going to Wembley, because I was at the Wembley. We were both there. You was working that day. I was there with my friends, and we, like, every time they had a chance to promote Riyadh season, they promoted it. What come to Saudi, welcome to Saudi. Almost every time they had like a second, they would promote Saudi, right? So I'm just thinking, I don't know, man. I'm a bit sad if that's the case, man. I hope HE comes out and says that's BS from Bob, innit? But because I loved those cards, man. LA and Wembley were sick, bro.
They were absolutely exceptional, and I'm with you. But it's because if you look at it, they probably cost more money than even the Riyadh season.
I can't even imagine.
Even the ones in Riyadh. So when it comes to the budget basis, they're probably looking at it. You know what I'm saying? MBS is probably looking at it thinking, yeah, I hear that, but all we're doing is doing a boxing show in a different country. There's not that much Riyadh to it. Like, for example, people were talking about Riyadh season, the last one that just went, that just happened, the Beterbiev Bivol 4-crown showdown, and how between rounds and between fights they were playing some Arabic music, like music from the region and so on and so forth, and that made it feel like you're at a fight in Riyadh. You see what I'm saying? The previous ones, it was more hip hop and more what you typically get at a normal fight night. And I think if you want to, I guess, have your stamp on the sport, right? You got to bring some culture. You got to bring some flair, not just the cash. You got to bring something else, a difference. Like it's different when you have boxing in the UK. You got Sweet Caroline. You go, hey, come on. You go, hey, Anthony. You got all those kind of. You got all those kind of tunes. They're trying to build a culture for boxing in Riyadh. It shouldn't be, oh, Sweet Caroline in Riyadh. It's got to have, especially if you want to, have a local feel to it as well. From that perspective, it has to. Some of the culture's got to infuse.
No, I hear that, and I respect it, and I think you're right as well. But in terms of like Riyadh season, it's October, late Feb, early March. What about the rest of the card, bro?
Everybody else got to work, bro. Like I'm upset. I remember a few years back, right? When I was doing some work for William Hill, one of the title sponsors of Matchroom Boxing. Bruv, we had a fight on like every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Every 2-3 weeks, yeah. I was in Newcastle, Manchester, freaking Sunderland, freaking London. But it was Eddie was moving like he wanted to make boxing the football schedule. That was what he weren't even moving like that. That was what his goal was. His goal was that same way every week you got football, every week there should be a show. Like every week or every 2 weeks there's got to be a show. And they were proper on. I think he did like over 30 shows in the UK. One of those years, pre-pandemic. Like right now, it's like everybody's sitting on Riyadh. Everyone's becoming like so enamored by what's going on over there. The schedule is not scheduling. The schedule is not looking as good as it has been in the past. Although the fights are being made on a grander scale, the big fights that we want to see, we're not seeing the irregularity of schedule like we saw in some years past.
Yeah, because the big UK fights are really on the undercards now, aren't they? So I understand what you're saying. At the same time, they're just taking 2 extra things outside of Riyadh season, outside of Riyadh. You know, why it's not that bad having 2 like LA and Wembley again. Why not? Do you know what I mean?
But you're getting greased the greed, bro.
But bro, that's what Riyadh season should expect now. What they've done, what Saudi have done, like I said in the previous episodes, is a gift and a curse now.
But it's got to maintain. Do you know what it is?
You got to have to live with that now because you've done it. That's my point.
But the funny thing is, if Wimbledon was on every day, no one would be queuing up for tickets.
That's a good point.
Do you understand what I'm saying? There has to be that there's something beautiful about some degree of scarcity. Do you see what I'm saying? When it comes to big fights, I hear it. I'm okay to have the big fights, the biggest fights in boxing with the super cards stacked beyond belief between October and February, early March. And then the rest of the year from what's it called again? March, April, May, June, July, August, September. But you, man, go to work, bro. Like, Matchroom, go to work. Freaking Queensbury, go to work. Boxer, go to work. Like, let's start making... Bruv, like, how many times this year has the O2 been utilised for boxing? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how many times has even the copper box been utilised for boxing this year? Not many. Not like under 5.
It's about
how
where
many
it used
times?
to be.
Do you understand what you get me? So when I'm looking at it from that perspective, bruv, listen, that Manchester Arena was getting banged out some years back, bruv. It's like it's tough to get and see that amount of turnaround.
I hear what you're saying and I agree with you. I think for myself, selfishly, I just remember the Wembley card. That was my first boxing event at Wembley, and that's one of my favorite like nights I've ever enjoyed with my friends. You know, my boys are there was watching it, and selfishly, I just hope we can do that like once a year, twice a year, maybe. I know I'm not. Hopefully, I'm not asking for too much. But what you're saying about Matchroom, Queensbury, even Boxer. It's your time now to, you know, pull the finger out and not rely on Riyadh too much. Obviously, understandably so, you're looking for opportunities for the fighters, and 100% everyone's doing the right thing, even though Simon Jordan disagrees. But yeah, weirdly. But look, I just feel like, if Matchroom and Queensbury can sort out a Wembley card without Riyadh putting their pocket in, because they've done it before with Fury, with AJ at Wembley from each promoter. Yeah, we create something there again, maybe? If not, can we have a sold out O2s, sold out Manchester Arenas again? Do you know what I mean? Just some big blockbuster fights we need in this country. And to be fair, with Riyadh season now saying, we still don't know if it's true or not, by the way. Bob's just saying that, do you know what I'm saying?
This is a solid 7-8 minutes on speculation.
Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? It might not be true, and I hope it's not true, but hopefully we see more fights in UK, big fights in UK, rather than going on the undercards. But yeah, Bob also said another thing. He said that the Beterbiev Bivol rematch is going to be outside. It's going to be next year, from a year from now, because of the Riyadh season doing what Bob's said they're doing in terms of not having fights outside of Riyadh season, which is really annoying, man. It was really disappointing because I thought we can see that fight I thought it was going to be summer. I thought it was going to be June. You know how the first fight was agreed in June for the 5v5? I thought that was going to happen again. Touch wood, man, it does, or earlier, but what do you think about that, man? A bit bummed out about it, bro.
Yeah, and you know what it is? To be honest with you, it actually works out worse for Beterbiev because obviously he's going to be older from that perspective. So it's having to wait another year is very strong, to be honest with you. Nobody really wants to wait another year for that whole thing. But at the same time, you've got You know what I'm saying? I call it the bad boys of the game. The police, the IBF are coming once again, dashing their mandatory out here. When everybody wants the rematch of the undisputed, the IBF out here saying, nah, you know what? Brother, you're mandatory. We're calling it now. You need to fight my man next.
Who's Michael Eifer, if I even got his name right? Who is he?
He's a brother that's been paying sanctioning fees.
Bruv, bro. Bro, what IBF, bro? You know how I feel about IBF since from the get-go. When we started speaking about IBF, bro. IBF, the most jarring belt organization. It's weird for me, yeah? At the same time, I low-key respect that they follow their rules to a T. But you're not doing it for the best of the sport, yeah? Who deserves a shot at the titles more than the Bivol rematch? The only person I could think of, low-key, is JB. Besides that, I don't think anyone above Bivol should get the rematch. Yeah. Should get the shots at the titles. And IBF are ruining it, bro. They do the same with Opataya. They do the same with John Ennis, making John Ennis fight someone he's already fought and beat. They did it to Canelo. Canelo had to vacate. They stripped off Usyk. Yeah, that fight should be for the undisputed again as well. Like, you're not doing it for the best of the sport. You're just annoying, bro. Like, all the boxing fans are annoyed. You're not doing it for the sport. I don't know why you man are doing that, bro. It's just jarring,
brother,
man.
I hear you.
It's so frustrating, David, bro.
I hear you 100,000%, bro. But I still respect them, bro.
I respect it, bro.
No. I respect them,
man.
bro.
I don't know.
No. I respect them.
I don't respect it.
I respect them because let me tell you what, yeah. Yes, they're doing things that is true to their rules, yeah. But in the sport of boxing, there are procedures, right? That all of the governing bodies follow, right? When it comes to mandatories, everybody has their turn to call theirs, right? When it's the IBF's turn to call theirs, especially when it's a situation where there's multiple belt holders, the IBF has always been the next one. The IBF that was their position. Yeah. Obviously, it becomes jarring for us fans because we're sitting there thinking, nah, they need to fight for undisputed, especially people that feel like it was an outrage that Beterbiev won. They want all the same belts on the line. Listen, the IBF are non-discriminatory. They don't care. IBF don't give a... Listen,
but
you've got the
poor,
IBF...
though.
No, I hear...
Because it's not for the best of the sport, bro.
But at the same time... No, but at the same time, it is. Because somebody is in their mandatory position. They've been waiting for time. Look how long... Wait. Look how long Joshua Buatsi's been in the mandatory position for that belt, for that WBO belt. He has been in that mandatory position for God knows how long, right? And nothing's happening, right? Nothing's a go on there, right? When it comes to the IBF and when it comes to it being their turn, they are rolling. It don't matter. They are rolling. It's happening. So for them, I respect them because if I'm a junior fighter and I've been paying my sanctioning fees and I've got myself into position. Don't make me do a freaking WBC and wait over 600 days like they did with Dillian White. Now Dillian White is not at the same powers he would have been if he had got his mandatory with the WBC champion in and around 150 days, 200 days, 300 days. No, my man waited about over 600 days and by the time it was his turn, he was fighting Fury at the height of his powers, which is completely different to fighting a Deontay Wilder that he should have been fighting at that time. So for me, the IBF, as jarring as they are, and I get it, they are jarring because end of the day, it's jarring to us, it's jarring to the champions, but I respect them highly because they don't discriminate. They don't care if you're Canelo and your 3% or whatever is bringing in millions, or if your name is freaking Joe Blogs and your 3% is bringing $4,000, right? When you get into position, you're going to fight for the belt. We're not discriminating based on your success, your fame, all of that kind of stuff. No. If you put yourself into contention for the title, when our turn comes to call our mandatory, we ain't waiting. We're calling it, or that person's getting stripped because nobody's holding up our thing. We're not having no franchise champion. We're not having anyone just holding on to the belts, and because they're Mexican or they're friends of the organization, we're gonna allow it. No, bro. They're man, they do their thing. That's it. Do something. And sometimes they do. Depending, you can always put in a request, right? You can always put in the appeal, put in the request, and then we'll see what's going on. But 99% of the time, their rules, they stick with it. If you're fighting for the belt, you need to know what's going on. If you don't want to fight for the belt and you don't want to include their belt, then leave them to do their thing. As for them, I respect them.
I hear what you're saying. I think the names they pick for the mandatories don't make sense.
It does.
It doesn't. Who's Michael Eifert, bro?
You don't know who he is, bro.
Exactly, I don't.
Yeah, but you don't, but they do.
But what's he?
Because he's been fighting. He's been doing things.
David, he's had a 6 round in his last fight. I've researched it. Who is he over Bivol? Who, bro?
Bivol is not in the IBF rankings, bro. He's not one of the...
I don't care, bro.
But that's how it works.
I just don't care.
Bro, but that's...
Oh, bro, it's just you can't do this to Bivol. You can't.
You can.
You can't, fam. You can't. And what's it called? What's his name, bro? Jordan Ellis is fighting someone he's already beat. Why are you doing this, IBF?
Go and read the rules.
Bun the rules. The rules are stupid, David, bro.
You can't bun the rules when you're talking about fighting for a belt that belongs to an organization. That's it. If you don't want to be a part of that, don't fight for the IBF. The IBF do their thing. You know what they do.
Swap him for the IBO. Let IBO be a real belt. Bun it. Swap him for the IBO, man. I've had enough of these, man. You're ruining boxing, bro. I want to see the rematch. Beterbiev, Bivol.
You'll see
That's the best fight.
No,
but I don't want to see it in a year, though.
You see it, though. You see it. You're going to see the fight, but it might not be for the IBF. The IBF might not be for it.
It deserves undisputed.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the reality is, when it comes to... This is why it then has to go back to Tyson Fury's favorite word, lineal. When it comes when it comes to lineal, yeah, then that person is the lineal champion. They are the undisputed champion. Do you see what I'm saying? Until they get defeated, they are the lineal. So regardless of those belts or not, yeah, that person who's currently Beterbiev right now, when he fights Bivol, if Bivol wins, Bivol is going to be the recognized champion of that division. The recognized champion, not one of them. Somebody's going to be holding the IBF belt, but Bivol is going to be the recognized champion. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I hear it. Let us know what you think about the IBF. Are they doing the right thing? Do you respect that they're being honourable? Do you not respect it? Do you think they're ruining boxing? Let us know what you guys think in the comments. But let's move on to Boxer. Why are you crazy? I've got my blood pressure. That's why he knows I worked up. But Boxer signed with Riyadh Season, following Matchroom and Queensbury. Now Riyadh Season joined Boxer. Good news for Boxer. I'm really happy for Ben Shalom, man. You're getting involved in it. Yeah, but Ben was, saying, outside, the cold for a while, bro. Just looking in the looking through the window, like these men are having a good time, throwing money in the air. You know what I'm saying? And these men were just chilling out in the window. Literally throwing like flower petals instead of cash at each other.
You understand? Yeah. But now he's inside. Whether or not the big boys wanted him inside or not, He's listen, and it's on merit, because what you do is you build a stable. You build a stable of credible fighters who then there is public interest for, and then at the same time there's also interest in terms of HE. And the truth is that's what Ben has done over time, and that's the reason why. But listen, HE's not out here like throwing out crumbs, bro. He's not out here just doing favors.
He's not doing favors.
No,
for sure.
It's like, bro, you've got a reputable stable. You've got some solid names in your team. You need to come and join this thing as well. He's
got good fights. He's got Ben Smith. He's got Eubank Jr. He's also got Adam Azim, who fought Ohara Davis over the weekend. Just quickly, I know we're short of time, but what do you think of the Azim Davis performance? I know he's in America, so did you get to watch it?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think?
Just levels, man. The levels were evident, man. Absolutely evident. Adam Azim is a special talent, a very, very, very special talent, and I can see why Ben Shalom has wanted to put him in, wrap him in some degree of cotton wool, because he is a very talented individual, and he wants to let him go for those other fights in its right time. And I understand why. Obviously, by that, obviously, I'm talking about Dalton Smith.
I think it was actually borderline punch perfect performance from Adam Azim. The jab was there, like a sharp, piercing jab. The pace, like how fast his hands are, like is ridiculous. And I just want to give Ben Shalom his flowers quickly. I think that was great matchmaking. A good, proper name in Ohara Davis, a respectable name in the sport. And he made easy work of Ohara Davis. I think now, you obviously allude to Dalton Smith, that fight. Do you think do you think Adam needs a couple of more fights, or do you think you just go straight into it, man?
It's not a question of what I think.
Do you think they're going to do that?
Or what I think they're going to do?
Yeah.
I think they will fight
Harlem Eubank next.
Yes, I think they'll fight Harlem next, and then I think they'll fight Adam. They'll fight Dalton Smith at the tail end of next year.
Tail end of next year.
Yeah,
they're trying to say middle of next year.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
They said actually, to be fair, they said next year.
Yeah,
so
they said next year. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying. Yeah. You know, Ben Shalom is a bit. He don't really want to.
I think they're gonna hope to get a Riyadh season thing in at some point at the end of next year.
5v5. Ben's been talking about he's got the stable, and he has got a good British stable to do a 5v5.
It's possible, but that requires some proper, I guess, collaborative work from Matchroom as well, from that perspective.
Yeah.
Matchroom and Boxer, and obviously Eddie's not really.
I wonder what Frank will say about that as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially as Frank will probably be the lead promoter. Talking about Frank, Glovegate. Glovegate.
That is mad.
Glovegate last week was going off. Now, for those that don't know, obviously there was a big major heavyweight fight between Fraser Clark and
Fabio Wardley.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And obviously Fabio Wardley completely destroyed Fraser Clark in round one. And then, some whiffs came out last week that Boxer were like investigating the gloves.
The things with Ben, he said it so subtly. I genuinely believed he felt like it wasn't a big deal when he was saying it. Because he said that after he's like, look, guys, you have to remember what I said. I did give Fabio his flowers, but you can't do that. You can't do that after saying what you've said. Basically, what happened is that there was a bit of a concern from Fraser's team that Fabio was changing his gloves last minute or something like that, or the material of the gloves wasn't investigated properly. And he basically alluded to that we need to investigate that, and kind of basically said there was a slight reasoning as to why what happened to Fraser happened. But it's like, bruv, what's got to do with the gloves landing that shot? Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's a stupid reason, bro. It's stupid. It should never been said.
It shouldn't have been said because there are procedures that happen when it comes to boxing. You don't just rock up with your gloves and then choose your gloves and then put your gloves on. You know what I mean? That doesn't work like that. Like, gloves are given to the commission. Then they're inspected. And then they're looked at and checked by the opposition team. And then they both agree on each other's gloves. Like, there's a fighter meeting on Friday after the weigh-in, and so a representative from each team and all the fighters as well are inside that meeting as well, where 2 options of gloves for each fighter is given, and they choose them. Option 1, this is option 2, and it's accepted by both teams, and then they go forward.
All the controls.
Yep, and then it's held by a certain individual until fight night.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
okay,
so it's you don't just you don't roll home with your gloves and then you can start taking padding out and all that. No, don't work like that.
Yeah.
You get that stuff signed off and then you bounce. Like, the gloves don't belong to you. You don't look at the gloves no more. You don't even get to touch them. The gloves are then brought to you in the changing room before the fight. Once your hands are getting whilst your hands don't get wrapped until somebody from the opposing team comes into your changing room, right? And then they sit down and watch your hands get wrapped, and then signed by somebody from the British board, and then your glove gets put on, and then they tape it, and that gets signed as well by somebody from the board. So the procedure is the procedure. So to have this situation where there's a whole ruckus and there's a glove gate going on is a bit techie, and I know. It's been said, oh, I didn't mean anything from it, bruv. But listen, that's amateur hour. Like, to be honest with you, you should know you can't go around saying those things, because even if you don't mean it, it is going to allude to exactly. So, sure. And at the same time, the comedic value of it is that same glove maker, Fly, is what Adam Azim, his fighter, Ben Shalom's fighter, wore on Saturday night.
It's silly, to be fair. I think Ben didn't realise how much of how much of a fiasco he's created there. Like now he's getting lawyer. He's getting the fly on. Apparently the CEO of Fly, the creators of that company, is on him. Frank Warren's on him. You know, look, Ben's not here to make friends at the end of the day, but he's really not making it easy for people to get along with him, man.
No, because at the end of the day, look, if I've got a glove company and somebody's saying, "Oh, at the end of the day, we don't like those gloves or we don't trust those gloves," and this is not before, this is not like, but it's not. You're saying this post fight now, right? That could be damaging to my business because then other fighters are going to be like, "I don't want no trouble or problems, so I'm not going to use fly gloves." Do you understand? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it could be damaging to a
it's reputational damage, isn't it? At the end of the day, but look, I think Ben's had quite a tough month in general. To be fair, like he's had Eddie sticking on him, he had Frank sticking on him, he's got Frank sticking on him again. To be fair, the bit of Brian he's had is have those boxer fighters on the Riyadh season card, and this last week with Adam Azim, with Ohara Davis. Just quickly with Ohara Davis, he said he's retiring. Do you believe him? Because Ben's basically saying I don't believe it.
Nah, I don't think he's retiring. I think that's how he felt after the fight, immediately after the fight. But I watched the video on Boxing King Media with him, Adam Azim, and
AY. Yeah, I saw that story.
Yeah, they went to Nando's and that. You know what I'm saying? And the way he was talking there, it didn't seem like he's done.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't retire. But sometimes that's how you feel after the fight. Like that's same man, get the words out. The same similar situation happened with the Leeds Warrior. He finished the fight, dropped his gloves in the ring, and it was like, I'm done. But is he yet? We don't know.
Now he's saying that he's not sure.
Exactly.
And it's been a while now, so if he was going to be done, he would have announced it by now, surely.
So,
but yeah, talking about the company at Nando's, AY quickly. Did you see his performance?
To be honest with you, it was disappointing for me watching the fight. It was disappointing because these are the kind of competitors that you expect for Anthony Yarde to blow away. And there's been talk about ring rust and so on and so forth. He fought 7 months ago. Like, it shouldn't be a question of ring rust from that perspective. And he was getting pieced up at some stages during the fight. You know what I mean? There's only one, I think the referee was the one that did the scoring. So there's only one judge basically, and he made it quite wide, but I don't think it was as wide as that.
No, I think there's a few rounds. To be honest, bro.
And he let my man into the fight. Nobody knew this brother. I think this brother's from Latvia. Obviously, I've got a lot of love and respect for Anthony Yarde. That's my guy. Do you see what I'm saying? And I think he's a phenomenal talent with exceptional knockout power, especially within the division that he's in.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't have been proud of that performance, to be honest with you. And it does raise questions surrounding him and JB. Obviously, JB's my guy as well. So, that fight is a fight that we need to see happen.
I think Anthony Yarde and Tunde wouldn't disagree with what you've just said. I think they would think the same thing. Like it just, in all honesty, it just wasn't good enough for what Anthony Yarde is, and I think Anthony Yarde knows that. But I think, look, at the same time, JB's boxer debut wasn't the best debut as well. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's true.
And after, I think he fought Dan Aziz, and now look at where JB's at.
But the difference is, like, Anthony Yarde, his reputation comes from valiant fights against the hard, or some would say the hardest opposition in the sport.
Yeah, Kovled and what's his name? Beterbiev.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Valiant fights that he lost. JB's reputation comes through fighting active, present
game fighters
that people respect and think they are actually at a decent level. And they've also competed either at world level or against people that have competed at world level and have dismantled them. So,
they're around there,
they're thereabouts. So you look at JB's record, and those are victories as opposed to a valiant effort that has resulted in a loss. You see what I'm saying? So obviously JB, Craig Richards, Dan Aziz, what's his name? Willie Hutchinson. Yeah. He's fought people, and obviously Craig Richards had, people say that was Bivol's hardest fight. People say
before Beterbiev,
Beterbiev, and off the back of that, off the back of Craig Richards fighting that fight, he fought my man. He fought Josh Buatsi, and with all that confidence going into that for the valiant effort against Bivol, and Joshua Buatsi put some night and day between them two. Dan Aziz, same thing.
Yeah.
Hutchinson, same thing. Hutchinson, who beat Craig Richards as well. He entered him. So that's where the delta is between the two. Is you've got one man who has gone to world level and has lost, but has put in a valiant effort. You've got another man who hasn't gone to world level yet, but has fought everybody in and around the world level and has beaten them and has gone through adversity in some of those fights, like the fight against Bolotniks. I was at that fight.
Yeah.
I think that was in 2020. Like, exceptional work there.
I think the problem with AY, he goes class then low. Like he jumps where Buatsi, gradually just smooths into it. I think that's the problem. Do you think that's next fight? Because that's what Ben Shalom wants.
I want it to be the next fight. Obviously, somebody needs to put the offer on the table. I think them man sell out. They 100% sell out the O2, I believe.
I think it should be O2. No Riyadh this time, man. No Riyadh for this one.
They should allow it.
I wouldn't blame them if they do Riyadh though, because they're prize fights at the end of the day. I think
saying.
selfishly,
I want to see that. I want to see that fight on these shores. I want to see it happen. Just what I'm saying over here. That's me personally. But at the same time, like, I know these boys personally. I want them to get, well fed. So, but I'd love that fight to be next.
I hope it is. I hope it does happen here, and only time will tell. But we do know one fight that's most probably going to happen on these shores in Manchester. Del Boy's back.
Hey!
Oh, Derek Chisora.
Man like War himself is back. Derek Chisora is fighting Big Baby Miller in Manchester at the start of the year. And but I cannot wait. Whether I'm working that fight or not, I'm heading up there, booking a hotel, and I'm going to be there.
That's actually a really good fight, It's quite funny with Del, but, before the Joe Joyce victory, everyone's like, bro, pack it in, retire, bro, retire. But now everyone, from what I've saw on Twitter, everyone's saying, that's a good fight. Excited. Come on, Dolby. Let's go. Like, it's mad how one fight can just change the tide of your career. And it only takes one fight, bro.
Derek Chisora versus Big Baby Miller press conference is going to be exceptional. You ain't going to be having that's going to be Nando's hot. We ain't going to be doing no Nando's playing press conference like we had with the Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk press conference. You're going to have some real flavor going on with that one. But have you got anything else before we bounce?
The only thing I can think of is just a quick little thing on X that I saw. Now we know the Undisputed Boxing game has recently come out, which I'm starting to enjoy a lot as of now because I'm getting better now. But EA Sports now trying to bring back Fight Night.
Them man want to jump in the party.
Yeah,
EA Sports
I don't rate that though.
That man said they're not involved in boxing anymore.
Then all of a sudden when
they see Undisputed is going off. Now they want it. And plus, you know what it is as well, because it's because Riyadh season's reignited a certain taste, certain flavor in boxing, and that is obviously translated into Undisputed the game. I know people that are playing this game all around the world, not just in the UK and the US. I know people in Ghana that's banging this game out on the PS5. I know people in Australia that's banging at this game. I know people in Indonesia that's banging. Listen, it's money, commercial opportunity. Sometimes. Obviously, EA was the first ones through the door. They're the ones that started it with Fight Night.
They abandoned it at the same time, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes somebody else picks up the slack, and then they're like, "Oh, wait on a minute, this is looking active."
Yeah, so. I think Johnny Nelson said in an interview recently during the Azim Ohara Davis build-up, he said that Undisputed sold 18.18 million units in the first week.
Come on.
So that's amazing numbers, and I think EA just bouncing off that,
Yeah, shout out Johnny Nelson as well, commentary in that on the comms and that, and also, you know what I'm saying, I know he's getting a little bit of residual from that. You know what I'm saying? Talking about residuals, please make sure you hit that subscribe button because we need to up the subs. Make sure you hit the like button as well, and get involved in the comments, man. We've spoken about a lot of stuff today, and don't just wait to the end before you get into the comments. Get into the comments whilst you're listening. You know what I'm saying? If you hear something that you agree with, disagree with, whatever, pop it in the comments below.
For sure.
All right? Now, it's been sensational talking to you. We've overrun time, so we're going to get the heck on out of it. I've been David Aloka.
And I've been Joe Ojala.
And we'll see you again next time.
Peace out, guys.